something having a go. We hooked it that time, and this feels like a better fish actually. Maybe this one's going to save the day, folks. It's trying to get me snagged. Yeah, it's a half decent perch, isn't it? Don't come off, will you? Because without you, the day's going to be a washout. There we go. Well, that was on a worm. Yeah, that was worth waiting for, wasn't it? Obviously not a monster, but compared to what else has happened today, it's more than welcomed. Look at that. Yeah, look at the mouth on that. Okay. I want to grab you without you spiking me. Good morning, folks. I'm off to the Offord and Buckden waters again. You're probably saying that's the third time in a row, which it is. But the beauty of their waters is that there's quite a sort of range of different waters to fish. A couple of weeks or so ago I fished the car park pool, which basically looks a bit like a lake. Then last week I fished the top stream, which is a canalised sort of cut. Today, if things go to plan, which is always the big if, I'm going to go to the mill stream, which is a faster stream, and try doing some trotting there with a float rod. Now normally when I fish the mill stream I'm after chub, and I do it with a link ledger and a quiver tip, so this is a bit of a change of approach. There's only a couple of spots on the mill stream that would be possible, so it's a bit fingers crossed I can get where I want to get, but we'll go and have a look and see what we get with a little bit of trotting. Another bright sunny morning, but like the rest of this week, the forecast is for it to cloud over a bit later, which may improve the fishing a bit. At least it's not raining, although there is a bit of a risk of showers today. Anyway, I'm just coming into Offord Clooney, and we'll soon be there, and we'll see how things go. I came last Saturday and there was only one car in the car park. Today's Friday, and there were 4 cars here before me. So depending on where these people are fishing, my plans may need to change, but as I said on the way here, there's quite a few different areas to fish around here, so we may be alright. It's a little walk involved to get to the mill stream, which means going back out onto the road. That bridge up there that we're walking towards is the lock cutting. And the buildings you can see beyond that are apartments that are built on what was the site of the old mill, thus the mill stream. And behind those apartments is the mill stream. Yeah, this is the lock, and on the right, which you can't see from here, is the sort of lock cutting, which is a useful place to fish when the water's in flood. Anyway, these bends coming up here are really tight. There we go, the old flour mills. This is the bridge coming up over the mill stream. To the right it's all sort of riverside holiday home type things. To the left is Offord Buckden water. And the good news is, the spot I want to fish is free. And as always, although you probably can't see it on this camera, there were a few big chub laying down there by the bridge. Bang. Yeah, the spot I want to fish is the sort of glide leading up to the road bridge, so it's not the quietest place to fish. There is another spot right at the other end of the stream that you can float fish, but it's where the sort of inflow to the stream is, and it can be quite turbulent. I was hoping that this spot here would be a bit less turbulent and easier to float fish, but we'll see. Don't know what that was. Birds flew off, but I didn't recognise them. Right, this is the spot, folks. As you see, it's fairly fast, but a fairly smooth glide. Right, I'm all set up, so I won't dwell too long on this because I've already given you a bit of a chat. I've got a 14-foot rod. I've got a Drennan loafer float, which is like a elongated bubble float, really, plastic float, taking 4 AA shot. So hopefully that will manage the flow all right. I've set an arbitrary depth, can't really plumb it at the moment. I'll just see how that goes, and I can fiddle with it as time goes on. So without much more ado, I'm going to start fishing. Okay. Okay, before I start, I bought some of my crumbed bread, which I'm going to put in, and that'll work its way down and may get them interested. I've got bread with me. I've got the maggots from last week, which are in quite good nick actually. Not a lot left though, so I've got the worms from last week, which were not in so good nick. They're still alive, but only just. And as I say, just hoping this may sort of get down there and bring the chub upstream a bit if they're there. There's a back eddy here, as you can see. It's a bit of a challenge getting this stuff in the right place. If you go too far, it ends up being swept down too fast, and if you don't go far enough, it don't go anywhere. Anyway, I usually fish this stream on a quiver tip and link ledger with big lumps of bread after the chub. So this is a bit of a difference, really. We'll see what happens, shall we? going to try and get on the edge of that crease so that the float goes downstream but not in the very fast water. See what happens. I think it's snagging bottom there. Yeah. Go out a little bit further. Oops, something came after it then. I saw a little fry going after it. A bit further than that, I think. There's something going for that. Try and hold it back a bit. Line's in a tangle. Don't know how I managed that. I think something grabbed that as I retrieved it, but it wasn't big. This is awkward fishing here because I'm a long way from the stream, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. I think that one grabbed it as I was bringing it in. As expected, it's a little dace, I think. Trying one of my lethargic worms. Ooh. It's getting too near the edge there. I'm going to lose things if I go too near the edge. Yeah, stupid one. I must admit this is proving more difficult to fish than I thought it would be. I'm obviously not very practiced in this sort of thing. The fast water is almost impossible to control the float. So I'm just fishing on the edge of this crease where the slack water, almost like a back eddy, is. They seem to be robbing my bait without giving me a bite. Well, finally we've hooked something other than a bleak, but it's a minuscule perch. Yeah, on the worm. I'm not sure this is working very well, folks. Alright, let's see if he has another go. Something's having a play with it. Yeah, take me worm again. But they're little fish. Yeah, I'm not sure this is working, folks. I find it too challenging, to be honest. I don't know whether to walk up to the head of the stream, see if that swim looks a bit easier. I doubt it. Or move over to another part of the salt waters. Yeah. I don't like to be beaten, but I'm just not controlling the float. I can't control it. Perhaps I need a heavier float. But even so, I think this turbulence in this water is such that I see a good reason why I use a quiver tip here. Yeah, the float keeps being stopped in its tracks by small fish, I think. They're not taking it under. Nah, it's just small ones, isn't it? Yeah, I think I might have a move while the day's still young. It's only 10:30. I'm not sure where to go though, with the tackle I've got at the moment. I'm not sure the head of the stream would be any easier. The water's quite fast up there. It'd be the same sort of problem, I think. I thought this swim here with a bit of a back eddy and that would be more manageable. Yeah. What I'm finding is the maggots are gone, but the float's not going under. They're just pulling them off as it goes down. You see, nothing there. Right, I'm going to sort out a move, I think, folks. Sorry about the short stay here, but I think I'm flogging a dead horse because I just can't control the tackle. And I'm not sure the head of the stream will be any easier. So we'll have a little move and then I'll come back to you wherever we end up. Right folks, I've moved from one extreme to the other. I've left that rather turbulent mill stream and I'm sitting here now on the lock cutting. There's lots of places I could have explored, but I haven't fished this lock cutting. I did fish it once in the winter, but I couldn't get this spot down this end, and I've always wanted to fish here. The only downside is being the lock cutting, it obviously has boats, but only one's gone through, and because the lock's literally just sort of 30 yards that way, they have to be going very slow when they get to this point. So yeah, so as I say, one extreme to the other really, because I was sitting there trying to control a float in turbulent water and it really wasn't working. It was getting frustrating, and fishing shouldn't be frustrating. Anyway, so this is the exact opposite really. It's almost static water, and we'll see how we go. I don't expect anything really big from here, but just a bit of sport. I didn't really want to sort of march around all over the sort of waters just to see what was the best. I thought I saw this and it was on the way back, so I popped in here and we'll just see how it goes. It may rescue today, you never know. Okay, that's it. Well, it's taken about an hour really to relocate, re-tackle. I mean, obviously I took the big loafer float off, I've put a waggler on. I'm just going to fish down by these bulrushes here to see what we can get. I've thrown a bit of bread crumb in and I've thrown a few maggots in. And we'll see what happens. As I say, talk about a complete change of scenery. Yeah. think there's some weed down there actually. As the sun caught the water there. Something playing with it, probably small fish again. Oh, it just went right away. Yeah, there's quite a lot of weed down there. Didn't see that when I was plumbing the depth. I would have gone a bit further out to miss it. We'll see what happens. Fish may be in among the weed. So I need to put a smaller hook on for fishing here. Perhaps that's the next stage. Oh, that was a good fish on there. I didn't get a bite. It was a roach. It was a nice roach. Why didn't I get a bite? I think I'm in the weed, that's why. Come on. Oh well. Some fish down there, folks. Yeah, there's plenty of bites down there. Got it that time. I think it's one of our battling perch, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, let's try some worms down there. It's taking it down as they do. Let's put a little drag on this thing. Just pulling the line off the reel. Let's put him down there. He's off anyway, so he's all right. Oh, Jesus, how did I miss that? Now I've got caught in the bushes over there, which is not good news. Yeah, this is quite heavy duty. Bushes over there. I'm not sure I'm going to get this back. When I missed that last bite, I struck slightly sideways and I ended up in that wild rose over there. And as tough as old boots, I knew I wouldn't be able to break away from it, so I knew I was going to lose the hook. But I managed to get the landing net under the float, so I got that back. But I had to put a new hook on, so I took the opportunity to put a 3-pound hook length and a 16-wire hook on to replace the size 12 I had on. I had a 12-eyed on from over the mill stream. So anyway, so that was the story really. I've put a juicy worm on that hook. It'll probably wiggle its way off because it's a barbless wired hook. There's not much to keep the worm on really. I don't think it's going to be a very spectacular day today, folks. It's midday already. I've spent probably a good hour and a half of the time I've been here either moving or re-tackling. And now I've got someone doing some strimming over the way there just to disturb the peace a bit. I think it's probably the water authority going around and clearing up. This is not really shaping up to be a very successful session today. Having abandoned my first idea, I'm not really getting much joy here now. Occasionally small dace, take the bait on the way down. I've changed back to worm from maggots, hoping there might be a hungry perch down there. But it's not really going very well. Certainly easier fishing here than it was on the mill stream. I should have stuck to my normal, oh, there's a bite. I should have stuck to my normal sort of approach with the mill stream and brought a quiver tip rod and, yeah, tried for the chub. I have maggots and worms left though from last week, so I thought I'd perhaps try to use them up. That's why I decided on having to go with the float. Something's having to go here, but it's not taking the float right under. Oh, it just took me into weed, I think. That was weird, that. The float sort of slowly sunk, and then when I struck it was weed. I think something had just pulled the worm into some weed. Yeah. Oh well. We'll plod on. You never know. The thing with rivers is you never know what's going to turn up. Something having to go. We hooked it that time, and this feels like a better fish actually. Maybe this one's going to save the day, folks. It's trying to get me snagged. Yeah, it's a half decent perch, isn't it? Don't come off, will you? Because without you, the day's going to be a washout. There we go. Well, that was on a worm. Yeah, that was worth waiting for, wasn't it? Obviously it's not a monster, but compared to what else has happened today, it's more than welcomed. And look at that. Yeah, look at the mouth on that. Okay, I want to grab you without you spiking me. Hook's just inside there. There we go. Getting that out of the way. Well, folks, yeah, beauty. Just trying for a few maggots in. Haven't got a lot of maggots left. Line caught on the reeds now. That was, yeah, I think that was a fish on the way down. He yanked at the float. It's only the little tiddlers at the top, it's not worth having them really. There we go. That's probably a small perch, I think. Yeah. Oh Jesus. Thought I had him and I didn't.
Here we go. Oh, Jesus. I'm dropping so many fish lately. Right, a bit muddy, but in here. Well, it's official, the worms have all gone. I've just tipped out all the earth from the little tub, and there's no worms left in there. Got that little half worm there, so I'm just going to put that down there. So after that it's just maggots. I've got some bread, I could try changing to bread I suppose, maybe some roach, prepared to play the game. Like that could be a bite, or is it just the wind putting the waggler under? I think it could be a bite. Yeah. This is fighting. This is fighting. He's trying to get in the weeds. So that's obviously another decent perch, or decent-ish. That's my last worm gone, or my last bit of worm gone. So almighty. How do these fish manage to do this? Can't even see this one, he's so far down. Okay, he's swept. There we go. Oh, got me a little bit of worm back. Right. Float just lifted a bit, so I'm hopeful. Still got me a little bit of worm on it. I recovered from the last fish. It's not good when the sun's shining down on this water. It's very, very clear. Yeah. A little bit of worm still on there. Something took it on the way down. Oh, it's bleak, wasn't it? That's how. Oh, he's taking me worm. He's taking me a bit of worm. Right, I was going to try a bit of bread, but a wasp has landed on my bit of bread. Would you believe it? Can you see that? Jesus, wept. There's a lot of wasps here actually. I don't know if I'm near a wasp nest or what, but anyway, it's going to get drowned now. Can't believe bread's going to work any better than maggots, to be honest, but it's a last ditch effort really. The maggots seem not to be attracting anything near the bottom. All they were attracting were I think bleak. I'm not sure they were dace, I think they were bleak on the surface as the maggots dropped. So, yeah, there's a lot of wasps around here. I think I might be somewhere near a wasp's nest, although they're not really bothering me too much, to be honest. Just buzzing around a lot. Yeah, if I don't get a bite on bread, I'm probably going to call it a day because the maggots are not working. There's no immediate takers on bread. It's just coming up 2 o'clock actually. I think I may call it a day. I'll perhaps have a few more casts on maggots, see if there's another perch. But the perch didn't seem to be that interested in the maggots, they were just going for the worms, and I've run out of worms. So, yeah. And bread's still on there, but there were no takers. It's only a little bit of bread. I was hoping perhaps the roach down there would, if there are any roach down there. Yeah, there's no doubt about it, river fishing is tough. Yeah, perhaps now we've had a bit more rain, there's a bit more flow in the streams. I'll go back after the chub again, see if I can succeed with the chub. Yeah, there's nothing really interested down there on the bread. So I'll just try a little bit longer with maggots, and then if maggots don't produce anything, I think I'll call it a day. Well, I just went back onto maggots, and straight away I caught this little fella. So I went on to bread before to try and see if the roach were interested. Didn't catch any roach, put some maggots on, got this little fella. Yeah, well, there we go. Yeah, there's an awful lot of wasps around here. I'm getting a little bit concerned. They're not bothering me, they're just around. It's that time of year, I suppose. Get all the wasps around. I had wasps buzzing around me most of the time in this swim, and on a couple of occasions what I thought was a big wasp fell down into the sort of undergrowth in front of me, but on reflection I don't think it was a wasp, I think it was a hornet. Anyway, on the last occasion it happened, I managed to get the camcorder out, but unfortunately it wouldn't focus very well, so I didn't get much footage of it, but there was a short period when it was in focus, and looking at this still picture that I've extracted from it, it seems like it was a hornet, and it hadn't sort of fallen out of the bush above me. It had actually grabbed the wasp, and it was basically attacking it and devouring it, I think. Yeah, nature in the raw. Let's go, isn't it? A lot of hazards fishing here. Put a big bunch of maggots on. I'm still hoping to attract a decent sized perch, because I know they're in here. Yeah, it's not really working, is it? I think I may call it a day. I sort of made a poor decision, I think. well, it wasn't really a poor decision. The idea was good, but I thought I'd be able to trot that glide going down to the bridge, but it wasn't that easy. There's quite a lot of turbulence, and the natural flow of the stream was pushing the float to the left, and I know there's a lot of snags down there on the left. I've lost tackle there before. Oh, I just saw something turn down there. I saw the silver side of something. Because the other thing is, it may be the predators in here are sort of putting other things off. There's a lot of pike in here, but certainly not much is happening at the moment. You'd think having maggots down there, something would oblige. The only things that are taking the maggots are either bleak or very small dace on the surface. As the bait goes in, they sometimes grab it before it has a chance to sink. But once it gets down there, I'm not getting many bites at all, really. Yeah, as I say, I think I might call it a day. Well, that's it, folks. I'd be lying if I didn't say that it was a bit of a disappointment, I must admit. Yeah, my original idea, it sounded good. You know, go to a mill stream, trot down that long glide, hopefully pick up some roach and dace with the chance of the chub as well, but it was just too challenging, basically. Either my skill set wasn't up to it, or it was just the sort of conditions were just a bit too difficult, really. Yeah, the sort of flow of the stream was taking everything over to the left, and the float was sort of being taken over to the left, and I know it's very snaggy down that left hand side, so no, I didn't stick with it long, I must admit. Came over here to the lock cutting, somewhere I wanted to try, so in that sense it was good. Tried somewhere else on these waters. Hope to really attract a few more perch down the edge there with maggots and worms. Got one half decent perch, a couple of other perch, a few bleak or dace, and a little roach. But yeah, it was disappointing today, but that's fishing, isn't it? I mean, so I've had days when I've caught nothing, so it's an improvement on that. Anyway, so that's it. Usual thanks to the subscribers. I'm creeping up, getting dangerously close to the 1,000, this magic figure. Last time I looked, I think it was 996, so, or 994 was it? Yeah, I was 6 away, I think. So yeah, a few more subscribers and I'll be in the 1,000 club. Anyway, thanks to all of you who subscribe, and all the new ones, of course, and thanks for the likes and the comments. Quite a lot of comments coming in lately, which is great. So until the next time, I may be tempted to go to a still water next time. I think the challenges of rivers are starting to wear me down a little bit at the moment. Either that, if there's a bit more rain and the flow improves, perhaps have a bash at the chub. I'll see what happens. But, anyway, thanks for watching today. And until the next time, it's bye for now and cheers.